Hello, everyone. My name is Mary, and today's topic is depression. So, today I'm going to be reading aloud from my blog, a blog post I wrote a few years ago about a depression that I went through, a severe depression I went through several years ago. Now, when I wrote this blog post a few years ago, I put it up on my blog, but very soon took it back down because I was ashamed. I know many people talk about depression. The stigma is slowly getting swallowed up by all the brave people willing to talk about this. But I was still ashamed, and I took this blog post down. I found it again recently and decided to put it back up maybe a few months ago. But I didn't share it. I almost hoped that no one would see it, but now I'm willing to share because I truly believe that the more of us that talk about our painful experiences, our depression, our shame, and all the things that we're going through as humans, the better off we'll be. So this is called This Beautiful Mess. And it is about an experience I went through several years ago. So let's dive right into it. Life is beautiful, or so they say on coffee cups and t-shirts. But the world we live in, no matter how many saints, prophets, and miracles have graced the pages of history, is filled with darkness as well as light, storms as well as sunshine. No matter how many times I try to see only the light and keep my thoughts to ones of pure love, I still encounter daily proof of the darkness that seems to be an inescapable part of the human experience. Sometimes the pain of it makes it hard to see anything else. The truth is, life is messy and probably always will be. I cannot wait for the storm to pass before I can admire the view. Depression has been one of the storms of my life. I've always been a sensitive person and prone to feeling very deeply, but several years ago I found myself living in the darkness of a severe depression. Not a day went by for 2 years that some form of debilitating inner torture didn't find its way into my consciousness. Nothing I did seemed to have any effect on this blackness that had consumed all my joy. It pervaded every cell, every thought, and every part of my being. Some days it left me an emotionless, empty shell, completely detached from life. Other days it was quite the opposite, and I was overcome with feelings. One such day, I was in my car when all of a sudden, the pain of my depression roared up inside of me like a dragon, consuming me in a bitter tempest of darkness. The pain was so swift and so crippling that I had to pull over only 10 minutes away from my home. Everything seemed to stop while I sat in my car and cried. I felt that the plague of depression had finally infected every part of my body, mind, and spirit, and there was nothing left of me but pain. After what seemed like a black hole of time, I dropped my head on my hands as they gripped the steering wheel. I was utterly spent. It occurred to me in that moment to wonder at the power of what I had just experienced. A thought came to my mind that as depressions go, this one certainly must be the most magnificent in its terrible power than anything I could have imagined. And my imagination is quite acute. In the midst of unrelenting self-loathing, I had to admit that this was a first-rate depression. There was almost something awesome in the intense inner torture that was living in my soul in that moment. Even though pain was still ringing through every layer of myself and tears were still streaming down my already tear-stained face, I had to laugh at my newfound appreciation for the darkness. I was looking the devil in the eyes and saw that he has, in fact, quite beautiful eyes. The world is a play of light and dark, a dance between the angels and the demons. As long as we are human, we will see it this way. We will have trouble in the world, that much is certain. We will have storms sent to test us and strengthen us. As much as we cry out against it, We are witnessing and experiencing the glorious dance of light with the dark. Life is messy. There will be opposition. There will be friction. There will be storms. But they can hold for me a treasure of beauty as long as I'm not afraid to look for it. And so, in that moment, I claimed my depression. I realized, black though it may be, it was a cloud in a much larger sky. I was able to see it. I looked it in the eye and said, "You're mine, and like it or not, you're beautiful." If I had to have depression, if it was my lot to experience such incredible pain as this, then let it be beautiful. If life was destined to be such a mess, then let it be a beautiful mess. Looking back, I realized that the beauty I saw was the gift that made it possible for me to accept and even love my depression. I accepted it as a beautiful part of the intricate design of me. My hope now is to try, by God's grace, to see beauty in all storms. My intention is to see life's messes not as I would wish them to be, but as they are, presenting themselves before me, asking me to see their beauty. And so this is the dance of life, this mess that continually seeks entrance into my heart. And so I will love it, this beautiful mess. So that is what I wrote several years ago. And honestly, every word of it is true. I truly did go through a horrific depression. I have epilepsy, and that's not an excuse for depression, but I know that in people with epilepsy, depression is there's a higher rate. Also, I'm sensitive. I feel like I'm an empath, and so highly sensitive people, empaths, as well as any people alive today who might be like looking at the world, could go through some dark time. And I did go through a very, very, very dark, very severe depression. I came out of it and was able to look back and remember this experience and write about it. And I find that writing about things helps me process them, helps me make sense of things. And my hope and my prayer is that somehow this blog, these words that I wrote, encourage anyone out there feeling depression to claim it, to look it in the eye, and to see that there is beauty no matter how much pain you're feeling. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you for watching. I'll definitely put that blog post, the link to it, in the description below so you can read it yourself. Thank you for watching. God bless all of you. Bye.